Okay, I will call the Bucyrus City Council Special Ad Hoc Committee hiring a council clerk meeting. Members present: Jenny Vermillion, Kevin Myers, Aaron Sherrick, and myself, Chair.
Meeting start time, please.
The start time is 7:25 p.m. Okay, public participation. There is none. Okay, approval of minutes. Before you, you have the November 18th and the November 19th minutes.
29th, 18th and 29th.
That's what I'm saying, the 29th.
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
If there's no other discussions, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passed unanimous.
I would like to make a motion for emergency legislation requesting a resolution appointing Megan Conley to fill the position of council clerk on a full-time 40-hour per week basis throughout 2022 and 2023 at an hourly figure of $18.50 for 2022 and $19 for 2023.
Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
If there's no other discussions, comments, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passed unanimous.
You might want to ask for public participation since I didn't type that on there.
Any public participation?
Okay.
If not, and I see none, I will adjourn this special ad hoc committee meeting at 7:27 p.m.
Jen, can I have that paper?
Which one?
Both of them. Brian, I'll get you a copy so you don't have to make chicken scratch.
Thank you. Okay.
Both of them.
It's easier for me to give you everything and let you decide what you want.
All right. I think we can roll right into this one.
All right, I'm going to roll
Excuse
into
me.
the next Bucyrus City Council Special Ad Hoc Committee meeting for council rules and procedures for Thursday, December 9th, 2021, starting at 7:28 p.m. Members present: Jenny Vermillion, Kevin Myers, Aaron Sherrick, and I believe myself as chair.
There you go.
Senior guy.
Woohoo!
Okay.
In every way.
All right, any public participation? Okay. A, council rules.
Mr. Chair,
Yes.
if I could, in your packet, you've got the first one that's all black and white is the current rules. Now, in the rules, it basically states that these rules will continue from term to term unless changed. So these are the current rules we have to operate under and will be the current rules we would operate under next year should we not change them. The second set that has some strikeouts in red was simply my suggested changes as a starting point. That we could at least start the conversation. Heavily in this is adding committee meetings into the rules, which really were not previously addressed in many instances. So it was really changing up a lot of the language of it. Like I said, it's a starting point, and I think, rather than, and it's up to you if you want to read through each of them tonight, whether you want people to take them home to research them, call another meeting where we could then sit down and have a work session to come up with something. I would like personally, I know it's a busy time of the year, wrapping up year-end things, but I'd like to meet to try to get something in place so that when we seat the new council, these are ready to go.
Yes, Aaron.
Well, I did have a question about some of your changes.
Hey, that's, if he's willing, I'm willing.
Okay. Number 8 and number 9 were completely just compiled as one. Was there a reason why they were separate before? I mean, it's I guess that's the.
I combined them.
I know you can, that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying, you combine them all as one. I mean,
You know,
did they need to stay separate? Like, was there,
so Mark and Bruce were here, you know, longer before I was, but from my recollection, when Sis had prepared the ones when I first came on, and when Kurt was elected, Kurt and I actually sat down and went through Sis's and made some changes to those at that point. This was already that way.
well, that they were separate, but that's what I'm saying, were they separate for a reason?
Probably because that's the way they were typed up in somebody's brain, honestly.
I just want to make sure, yeah.
I mean, these are our rules, and so they can say whatever we want them to say. I mean,
It's talking about the address issues on number 9, and that's exactly what number 8 is.
Well, that's why I was wondering why they've been separate. I mean,
I-
that was literally, I didn't know if they had to, if we had to hit it twice and because it's slightly different, or, you know.
Well, I like the amended one to limit the time, but we can discuss that. We
Yeah.
don't need to discuss it tonight.
Right, no.
Let's-
I just wanted to know if there was a need for the two, or if that
no,
was-
we can, seriously, we could make this say that if you want to address council, you have to wear a purple hat. I mean, we have the right to set our rules. Now, I wouldn't do
I
that,
mean,
but,
pretty much.
so these can, we're under no obligation to make these say anything or not say
So you
anything
lied about the
specific.
tinfoil hats?
I do not. And the only reason on my suggested sheet, I went from 5 to 3. They were always 3 prior.
Yeah, I know, I'd asked about that.
And that's what, because that conversation, I think,
Yeah.
happened, is why I did that while I was going through them. My suggestion would be that if anybody else in the committee has things they'd like to change, type them up, email them, whatever. In my role currently as clerk, I'm happy to take those and pass them on to Mark if you want me to, or we can send everything straight to Mark, whatever you guys prefer, but I'm happy to.
Please send it to him so he gets it typed.
He's gonna be busy doing finance.
I got
minutes.
finance and planning trying to get done, which is not going to be easy to do.
I do like the email to the group, like each person gets a copy so that we can all look at it, because I liked getting some of those minutes last night and looking at them and going, oh, yeah.
Yep.
Or as I was emailing my own and correcting them and still
Yeah.
missing two on the last one. That last one, I think I'd lost my mind.
Yeah, and part of the other things that we're looking at in some of the changes of this, and I think not only this, but also Chapter 111 of our codified ordinance is also going to need some changes based on, like they're worded right now, joint regular committee. So we'll just have to change some language there, but it also lays out, exactly how our meetings go and things like that. One of the things that I think we've all learned is especially when you sit in the clerk's chair for a little while, I think we can change some of our processes and procedures to make that person's job easier. If we dictate if you have a legislation request that's turned in by a certain time, all those types of
Yes.
things. And I think I put something in here about documents on demand.
Yes.
Before it was not listed as some of our procedure, I think, and I know I'm getting a little off topic here, but I sat through an hour-long seminar with the people at the company that does documents on demand today. I learned so much. We'll be able to change some of the processes there. So, as it stands today, if we schedule another meeting, I have to do a media announcement that gets emailed out. Then I have to put that said media announcement on documents on. We can do it all in one fell swoop. Documents on demand has a feature that will automatically email it out. And that was one of the issues that Mrs. DeShawn had when, Rebecca had purportedly put it out on, emailed it to the media, but Vicki wasn't able to see it until it was done the next day on Documents on Demand. If we change that process, there's your transparency there. It's date and time stamped that it went to the public as well as the media at the exact same time. So there's a lot of stuff that I think we're going to be able to do different and better, and I think that starts here so that we can make sure that there's a roadmap for that job.
Okay. Do you want to set up a time? If you want to do it any time next week, we
No,
have,
Sorry,
I just was saying, you're not able.
I'm unable.
Okay. The week of the 20th.
I'm unable.
So here's my thing on that. if you're comfortable with it, Aaron, if you have, changes and
Changes.
things you want to make, I
Okay.
think if you convey that to the
Okay.
chair, we're
can
able
bring-
still
we'll
to
bring it
continue
up,
working
right?
on it.
Well, and we've got the week of the 27th after Christmas before New Year's. I know we were doing swearing in sometime that week. and-
We're getting sworn in on the 30th. We
A
have,
public hearing on the 30th. So we,
29th, I thought was public hearing.
no, public hearings on the 30th.
Well, the swearing in's on the 29th.
no, it's on the 30th.
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 Mhm.
Yep.
My birthday.
Happy
Big
birthday.
Yeah, the swearing in's at 5:30 and the public hearing's at 6.
It's a public hearing. It's a big day.
No.
Okay, so the
Oh,
swearing
that's
in
right.
is
I
I can't hear you.
Yeah, you're right, I should've.
The swearing in is at 5:30?
Yeah,
Okay, you gave me 6.
we did initially, and then when we scheduled the public hearing, the interim clerk screwed that up.
You should take him outside.
Yeah.
He's fine.
I mean, would we
No.
want to do like an ad hoc?
He is not.
Well, so here's another thought to look at scheduling. For whatever minutes that finance and plating is going to be able to get done, we're going to have a special meeting for those committees to get those approved by this year's council. So I think if we could if we're all going to need to be here, maybe set those on the same night. So pick a night that works, and I think just to approve your minutes is going to take a matter of a few minutes for the two committees.
I think we just do
So we
everything on the
could
30th?
schedule plating, finance, and ad hoc all in the same evening.
Can we do it all on the 30th?
That was my thought. I mean,
We'll all be here.
But what time are we talking?
Well, it'll be immediately
well, it'd
after
be
the public hearing.
hearing.
Okay, I'm gonna say, if it was anything before that, forget
No,
it.
no,
I
it's-
can't.
That makes sense rather than coming here 2 different days that week.
So then we just do the media announcement with all of that on there, and, immediately following the public hearing.
Once the plating and finance chair lets the interim clerk know of said meetings, he will advertise them. And then this committee, we will advertise for right after that, if that works.
That sounds perfect.
We're just
I
gonna-
hear you.
Did he refer to himself as a we?
Yeah.
We'll just do it then for the ad hoc finance and plating. Finance, plating, and then ad hoc. In that
Correct.
order.
After the
Public hearing.
swearing in and public hearing. Okay.
That should just say immediately following, correct?
Yes.
And that'll be somewhere around after 6:30.
Right. Depending on how long that poor public hearing will be.
Yeah. Somewhere around there. That okay with,
That's fine with me.
okay. If there, and that'd be good, the new council members will be there also, and they can make any comments if they. All right, and with that, I will, public participation. As there is none, I will adjourn at 7:38 PM.